All right, so we're moving on to episode 94 of Dragon Ball Super. This episode is called The Emperor of Evil Returns, a reception of mysterious assassins. So I was very curious to see how this week's episode was going to follow up the exceptional Dragon Ball Super episode 93. And I was not disappointed. There definitely is, I would say, no mistake about it, that there's a little bit more of a consistent quality in Dragon Ball Super. It looks like they really aren't going to go back to the days of bullshitting and fucking around. There's still weird moments here and there and very questionable things like, the Kaioshin's 28 mortal planets with Lifeline, which made no sense. But all in all, they certainly have tidied things up since the early days of Dragon Ball Super, which is good. And my hype train I'm fully on board for the Tournament of Power, which should be coming very soon. So, the opening of this episode was actually really interesting to me for one reason. So, it opens up with Goku eating at Capsule Corp, and he's there with everyone. Vegeta's there, Bulma's there, Krillin's there. They're all there. And Goku is kind of telling them, like, oh, yeah, Frieza is just going to be good to get out of hell for 24 hours. He agreed. And Bulma and Vegeta quickly deduce that Goku is lying. And Goku admits that he promised Frieza he would use the Dragon Balls to resurrect Frieza after the tournament is done. But what's odd here is that Goku does not mention that Frieza specified the Earth's Dragon Balls and that the Earth's Dragon Balls are not capable of restoring Frieza to life. So, me and many others thought last week, oh, Goku, secretly, he's been playing dumb. This is the Dragon Ball Z Goku back. He knows what he's doing. Frieza's talking about the Earth Dragon Balls resurrecting him. Goku talked with Piccolo, found out from Piccolo that Frieza was resurrected with the Earth's Dragon Balls. We did see a scene of Goku talking with Piccolo just after the Resurrection F arc. So Goku's aware that Frieza used the Earth Dragon Balls to revive and knows that Frieza will not be able to be revived with the Earth Dragon Balls a second time. However, Goku doesn't mention that here. So I'm wondering if maybe Goku does not realize this. I certainly hope that's not the case. It definitely looks to me, though, like at the very least, Dragon Ball Super does not want us to realize this fact that the Earth's Dragon Balls will not be able to revive him again, but it's too late. Like, there's too many guys in the community who are quick on stuff like this. So this didn't slip by anyone. So I certainly hope that Goku was not just a complete moron here. I really thought that was a stroke of genius by him, where Frieza himself mentions the Earth Dragon Balls. Goku thinks, oh yeah, sure, that sounds good to me. And now it looks like that may not be the case, which is very disappointing. We then see a scene of the Universe 4 God of Destruction, Katella, talking to the Universe 9 God of Destruction, Sidra. And he begins talking about how he had spies sent to every universe, and they overheard Universe 7 talking about targeting Universe 9 first. So, of course, this makes, Sidra very upset, and Katella starts talking about this plan he came up with where there's not a lot of time left until the Tournament of Power. So if, we could even keep one member of Universe 7 from arriving, then that likely will mean their erasure on the spot once they arrive at the universe, the Void Universe or whatever it's called, for the Tournament of Power. And Katella shows Sidra what Frieza looks like, mentions him, and suggests that they get assassins or pawns from their universe to try and take Frieza out before Frieza is able to properly join the Universe 7 team. So now here's where we're getting into this. Now, there were some spoilers that were, unconfirmed spoilers about Katella. Now, we don't see anything linking Katella to those spoilers here, but I'm going to be very curious to see what Katella is up to in the next episode. So then it goes back to Capsule Corporation, and we see Trunks walk up to the board that has all of the universe members on it. And now Majin Buu's picture has been replaced with like a little cartoon drawing that someone did. It's hard to tell who did it exactly. I don't know, maybe Bulma or Gohan are the most likely. But Trunks walks up and sees that Frieza is on that board and goes, "What is this?" And then Bulma mentions, "Oh, it's just like a these are people who are going to show up to a party for Bra." And then Trunks is like, "But isn't that super, super duper bad guy?" And Vegeta runs over and is like, "Oh, well, now he's turned over a new leaf and he's a good guy now." And there's a really funny scene where we see like Vegeta have like an inner monologue where he's like, "How could I have to defend that trash Frieza?" And we see him like screaming it. It killed me. That was really funny. Personally, I think that's fucking stupid that they have Vegeta do this, though. Come on. Like, I don't want to take things too seriously, but, I mean, that's weird. Like, you go back to the Frieza saga and Vegeta crying as he's dying, and it's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Vegeta, in like 15 years, you're gonna be on your knees telling your son, oh, he's a good guy now. No, don't worry about it." After this, Goku convinces Trunks to come with him to go protect Android 17's island, because he has not yet told Trunks, Goten, and them about how, Goten and Trunks need to actually protect 17's island while he's gone. Vegeta and Bulma at first appear to kind of have a problem with this, but, Goku, Trunks is excited to do it, so it seems like they don't really care too much. Then Goku goes over to Krillin and asks Krillin to be the one to actually take them over there, meet with Android 17, and leave Goten and Trunks to actually look after the animals, because Goku has to head to Uranai Baba's to go get Frieza. Krillin at first is a little hesitant, so it looks like Krillin and 18, they really have not seen 17 at all, if not maybe once or twice, since, 17 has been revived in the Cell Saga and stuff. Krillin's a little nervous, but he thinks about how different 18 is from the Android Saga, and he agrees and decides to head to the island with Goten, Trunks, and 18 to go get Android 17. Goku then asks Bulma for a gift for Uranai Baba, because remember she asked for one last episode, and then he heads off to meet Frieza. So this next scene pissed me the fuck off. We see Master Roshi training on Korin's tower with Yajirobe and Korin, and Master Roshi is practicing his Bankoko Bikari show, which of course, in the original run of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, we only saw him do that once against Kid Goku in the first Dragon Ball World Tournament. I believe he used that against Tien in 10 episodes or so ago in Dragon Ball Super, the Tien and Master Roshi episode. But what really pisses me off is Master Roshi reveals that, he wanted to train here and, kind of relive his fond days when he was training there younger at Korin's Tower. And he's about to head off to go meet everyone, to gather for the Tournament of Power. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot I can't fly." And it's like, hold the fuck on for a second. We're really gonna continue this shit that Master Roshi can't fly? So this motherfucker, what you're telling me is he's stronger? He bodies Tien. You're telling me he's stronger than Tien now and he cannot fly? What? What? Sway, how? He bodied Tien! That was only a handful of episodes ago. He can't fly and he's gotten this strong? Why has he not learned how to fly? That doesn't make any sense. That is dumb. Come on. They really need to keep this little joke that he can't fly? There's no point. Why? So, it's really that important to have Master Roshi on the team? Even Yamcha would be more useful if Yamcha can fly. Come on now. And again, I do want to point this out for the 1,000th time, because a lot of people I feel like don't get this, but you can fly in the Tournament of Power. It's just when you go off the edge, to where the void is, that is where it nullifies your flying power, so that you can't fly back up onto the ring. That's why. In the actual ring itself, they're able to fly around and do all types of crazy shit, because they don't want it. The Tournament of Power now has had 3 months of buildup. I can't imagine they'd want it to suck. And one thing that would definitely bring the hype down is if they can't do sky battle, flying around, battling super fast like that. So I imagine that the no flying rule, that's only on the outside of the ring. That's what was shown to us in that little simulation that the Grand Priest did. Um, Either way, Master Roshi, for real at this point, should be able to fly. Come on now. Next, we see the Kaioshin Ro. He is the Universe 9 Kaioshin talking with Sidra, their god of destruction. And he mentions that he's been watching some clips of Frieza on GodTube. And he decided, that Sidra's correct. They should actually send people down to go take care of Frieza immediately. So, looks like they, give the okay. And they're going to send a force to go kill Frieza. We'll see how that goes for him, though. We then get a quick shot of Goku at Uranai Baba's. He gives Baba the gift, and then Baba heads off to go get Frieza. And then the camera zooms out, and we can see that the assassins from Universe 9 are already there just waiting for Frieza to arrive. So shit is going to go down once Frieza does actually show up. Now this next scene is absolutely phenomenal. What we have is Krillin, Android 18, Goten, and Trunks, and Marin arrive to, pick up Android 17 and then leave Goten and Trunks to protect the island. And it's funny because you see Krillin is trying really hard to, start up conversation with 17 and, be friendly and whatsoever. And 17 is just very short, I guess, is the way. And it's funny because you could tell by the way they talk that it really has been a while since they've seen each other. And I love it because Krillin is like, hey, you should come over for dinner sometime. And 17's just like, no, thanks. and 18 is like, well, you don't really have to force conversation here. And it's great because Marin runs over and, she's like, oh, uncle, how you doing? How you doing? And 17's like, oh, you've gotten pretty big. And he, you see him look around and he's like, Marin? And I guess he doesn't say it properly. And 18 corrects him and is like, say it again wrong and I'll kill you. And it's like, oh shit. Yo, that killed me. And they did one of the hilarious anime shots of 18 too, where half of her face is covered in shadow. That shit was gold. I really enjoyed that. And then she asks 17 how old he is, and he goes, I'm 17. And they do a great job because they do this little funny effect where you see a wave crash on the shore, and then the camera just, kind of zooms in on everyone there. And Krillin goes, what do we do about this mood? And they're like, I don't know. So Krillin, 17 does not have jokes. Let's just put it like that. It made me laugh, but see, this was good. This is more of Toriyama's style right here. These kind of gags. This did get me good though. Android 18 is the one. I'll tell you that. She is just so fine. Android 18. Krillin is forever a winner. Let me not hear anyone dissing Krillin, okay? Because this man bagged Android 18. That is a feat that is to be commended for all time. Android 18 is the one, okay? So just know this. After this, Goten and Trunks, they did a quick race around the island, and 17 is kind of asking Krillin, is it really okay to leave this to them? And they begin to have a conversation kind of talking about well, don't worry, it's Goku and Vegeta's sons. And, I told them to go easy on the poachers if any do happen to show up. And then 17 laughs and he's like, okay, well, I guess I'll have to worry about the poachers after all. And you see Android 18 kind of scoff a little bit that Krillin and 17 quickly are actually able to interact easily like that. Yo, Android 18, I love her. But Marin decides that she wants to stay with Goten and Trunks, and 18 says it's fine because Marin is actually pretty tough, which is interesting because we've never really gotten any sort of indication that Marin might actually be strong one day, maybe along the lines of Pan or something. And the way 18's talking here, maybe Marin, in the future we might actually see Goten, Trunks, Oob, Marin, some of these fuckers actually contribute and do something. That's the only reason I hate Dragon Ball Super's moving so slowly through time, is I do want to see Goten and Trunks grow up. It's been enough. Really, Trunks is the age he is in the fucking History of Trunks special. So he should be he's a fucking teenager, alright? Enough of this shit. I want to see them, grow up. I would like them to bring in Oob. Enough is enough with Goten and Trunks as kids. Hopefully, after the Universal Survival arc, we can actually, move forward with them growing up. Now, 17, 18, and Krillin, they fly away. And Marin says, oh, good luck with work. And then Trunks kind of like, work? So that, shows that the lie is unraveling a little bit. Because what Marin was told is not the same thing Trunks and Goten were told. So that is a red flag right there. And then we see some poachers are hiding out nearby. And they notice 17 is left. So it looks like at some point, Goten and Trunks are going to have to fuck these poachers up. Now, the scene quickly transitions back to them arriving at Capsule Corp, 17, 18, and Krillin. And it's interesting because Gohan kind of tells everyone, like, all right, let's forget about the past. In order to win, we got to use Team Waku. And, they use the English word for teamwork just like they do in Naruto so often. And Vegeta's like, I'll beat them all myself. Fuck teamwork. And Piccolo flies down to go greet 17 and asks him if he's stronger. And it's great because he takes like his, I don't know what it's called, his turban? Yeah, he takes his turban off. 17 rolls up his sleeves and Piccolo's like, you're stronger, huh? And then 17's like, are you? And, it looks like they might be about to spar, but Piccolo just reaches his hand out, shakes his hand and says, thanks for helping us out. And 17 is like, yeah, no problem. This is cool because remember, obviously 17 and Piccolo did have, quite an epic fight just before Cell absorbed 17. So they do have a bit of history. This was a cool scene to see. And then right at that moment, Master Roshi actually arrives on Gamma, the spinning turtle. That's what he's called, right? And they start to get a little worried because it's been a while and Goku and Frieza are not back. So then the end of the episode is really, really good. Frieza and Uranai Baba arrive back, and Frieza is great. He kind of walks up to Goku, and Goku's like, okay, well, we got to get the fuck up out of here. And Frieza just fucking checks Goku right in the stomach and is like, oh, sorry, my hand slipped. And it's funny because Goku smiles, fucking cocks Frieza right back in the stomach and says, oh, you know what? My hand slipped as well. Yo, that killed me. I really did like that. And see, this is exactly why, if we're going to bring Frieza back, I do not want to see this fucker as a villain on a different universe. I'll just say this. This motherfucker needs to be on the Universe 7 team in order to make Frieza interesting. We've already seen Frieza as a villain 500 fucking times. We saw Frost, who's, a villain. If we're going to do this again, Frieza needs to be on the Universe 7 team so that they're doing something different with him. We can't just rehash him as a villain. That would be so... I just think that'd be a bad move. Now, the Ghost Usher comes in and mentions that there's a lot of people outside who are, here to see Goku and Frieza. Goku walks out, and he instantly knows what's going on. He's like, are you here? Who the fuck are you guys? And the dude's like, I can't say. It's like, are you here to stop us from entering the tournament? Can't say. And I love it, because Frieza, literally, the dude is in the middle of saying can't say to, like, Goku's 500th question. And then all of a sudden, a death beam just pierces him, and he falls down into the water, because they're fighting, they're on, like, the same sort of, like, little tournament ring, where they fought Baba's fighters so long ago, where Upa and Krillin and Yamcha and Puar were fighting the Invisible Man. And then the dude falls into the water after being hit from the death beam, and Frieza's like, oh, well, this is a lively welcoming. Now, Goku, puts his hand up to his head. He wants to use instant transmission, get the fuck out of there. They do not have any time to get a 10th member. And he just tells Frieza, like, we don't have time for this. We gotta go. And Frieza's like, oh, well, if I go super quick, it shouldn't be a problem then. And he powers up into his golden form. And it was a very epic transformation. I thought this was way more epic than Frieza's transformation was during the Resurrection F arc. It was very cool. And you kind of see, like, the gold kind of, like, pop into place on his body. It was a very good transformation scene. I definitely have a huge thumbs up to this. The animation was great. Really, this whole episode just looked fantastic. And then we kind of see shots of the universe, the turn. I always go to call it the Universal Survival Arc, but then I realize what I'm talking about is the Tournament of Power ring. Like, the Tournament of Power ring is being assembled and completed, and we get a bunch of, like, interlaced shots. Like, we see Frieza posing in the gold form. We see Goku kind of looking a little nervous there, not at Frieza's power or anything, but the fact that it's like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And we also see the nearby village where Goku got new clothes. Not, back in early Dragon Ball. That was a cool little touch they added. And then the episode ends on Frieza, and Frieza goes, "It appears we don't have much time, everyone, so I'm not going to be able to give any of you any complimentary service." And the episode cuts off there. I was like, yo, okay. So far, Frieza has stolen the show. I have been very impressed with Frieza in the show so far. Now, I still am worried that they're going to fuck this up, especially if the spoilers are true, which I do believe they are still. I do still think they're true. I don't like the idea of Frieza not being on Universe 7. We'll see what happens. Overall, though, another good episode. I'm very pleased. This Universal Survival Arc has been fantastic so far. I have so little complaints about the arc as a whole up to this point. I wasn't that big a fan of, like, Goku being hit by a bullet. And then, like, I thought the second episode of the 17 arc was a little boring. And then the Tien and Master Roshi episode wasn't great. But besides that, this arc has been tremendous. And I'm definitely looking forward to what's going to happen next week and in the future for Dragon Ball Super. It's good right now. It's definitely good.